hydraulic for your elevators or magnets. You know, the new thing is magnets. So instead of using hydraulic, you can be hit by lightning and it's fine. You take a little glass of water and you drop it on magnets. I don't know what's going to happen.
Grandpa is once again talking about his favorite hobby, other perhaps than trolls, which is magnets. He likes them, he collects them, he plays with them, but he doesn't seem to understand them. And they are a mysterious thing, almost like magic, which is why if you don't understand them, you don't have to talk about them, buddy. You don't have to imply that you know what they're about, but he's doing it. And look, if you're new to American politics, maybe you're from outside of America, you probably would imagine this is the first time that the president has opined about how he thinks that water turns off magnets. If you've been paying attention to American politics, you might hope that that's the first time that he's opined about how he thinks that water turns off magnets. But unfortunately for both categories, no, this is a thing he returns to from time to time. Here's a reminder.
Think of it, magnets. Now, all I know about magnets is this. Give me a glass of water. Let me drop it on the magnets. That's the end of the magnets. Why didn't they use John Deere? Why didn't they bring in the John Deere people? Do you like John Deere? I like John Deere. They call it magnets. It's a rare earth, but they call it magnets, a specific type. And they're making those magnets for us right now. They have to give us magnets. If they don't give us magnets, then we have to charge them 200% tariff or something, you know. But we're not going to have a problem, I don't think, with that. I think that's perhaps behind us. You know, China intelligently went and they sort of took a monopoly of the world's magnets. And nobody needed magnets until they convinced everybody 20 years ago, let's all do magnets.
I think, look, is that last thing as stupid as thinking that if you put a magnet in a glass of water, that's it for the magnet? No, but saying we didn't need magnets until they convinced us we need magnets 20 years ago is substantively a little bit dumber. Now, look, I'm not an expert on tech or anything. I share that with Elon Musk, but I'm pretty sure that magnets are not only popular because the Chinese told us we should use them. They're not Dubai chocolate or Labubu. You need them. It's not trendy. They're necessary for some advanced technologies. And again, Trump, if you're so worried about their monopoly, it'll rain eventually, and then there go all their magnets. I don't think it's anything we need to worry about. Let's not mess with our tariffs just for that. But anyway, look, the beginning of this was, of course, him speaking to members of the military about his thoughts on the way that aircraft carriers launch planes off the deck. So there's old school systems that use hydraulics, there's new that use electromagnets, and he has very strong and incredibly ill-informed views on it, and on the elevators that bring planes up from the storage beneath the surface. And the thing about all this is, like, you would hope that since he's talking to members of the military that do know about this, and implying that he knows better than them, despite the fact that he chose to use his elite connections to refuse to actually serve his country during Vietnam and has badmouthed the military ever since. He now goes and Trump explains to them about magnets that, like, I don't know, some MAGA people would be like, who the hell are you? Who the hell do you think you are? First of all, try the magnet thing. I have a glass of water right here. I'm sure there's magnets nearby. I think the White House, unless the East Wing was the magnet repository or something, I feel like you could test this thing out, okay? Don't just opine on something, actually act on it. That's the scientific method. But then to have such strong opinions on the way that the goddamn aircraft carriers work, this is actually, jokes aside, one of the main problems with Donald Trump. It isn't just that he is incredibly, almost cartoonishly ignorant, that he thinks magnets turn off with water, when I'm pretty sure my daughter would be suspicious about that assertion. It's that he doesn't need to know, he doesn't choose to find out, and he will override the people around him who do actually know. And that is not just a problem with, the hydraulic launch systems on aircraft carriers. That's a problem across the CDC and labor and energy and trade. Is it really actually that different for him to fundamentally misunderstand how magnets work, but insist that they not get used, than that he doesn't understand how tariffs work? And yet he insists that they're used for literally everything. I think it's actually kind of the same problem. And it's a problem that isn't limited just to Donald Trump. It's pretty common across a lot of the men that have unfortunately gained influence and power and wealth in America. They are stupid And they are so stupid that they don't know and are insulated from the knowledge of how stupid they actually are.